If somebody asks me about the Arctic, generally their big thing to see is polar bears, and it is one of those destinations where there's an exceptionally high chance of seeing polar bears. Touch wood, I've never sent anybody there in the summer months and they haven't seen polar bears. How close you'll get varies, and in 2025 the government are bringing in a new regulation which means you can only get to within a maximum of 500 metres of polar bear. So that's going to make a very big difference for the overall experience. And seeing your first bear is an amazing experience. They are magnificent. However, I would say that it's one of those places, it's not all about the polar bears. What I find is a lot of people come back and say that walruses were equally special and hadn't really thought about them. And I actually personally love spending time with walruses. On land, I agree they are not that interesting. They shuffle around, they grunt a lot, they poke each other with their tusks. But once they're in the water, they're in their own element. They'll come up to zodiacs and it's really special, especially seeing some of the youngsters, because they get together in little gangs and they'll bob up next to the zodiac and they'll all blow and puff and sort of bluster, and then one will get frightened and they'll all disappear in this big flurry of splash. The scenery there is really beautiful. You can sail along a magnificent ice wall as far as the eye can see. Later on in the season it actually has waterfalls coming off it, and it's often very foggy there. So the fog will lift and there's just this beautiful gleaming whiteness, and then the fog will come down again, and it's really kind of ethereal destination. The sea ice the same. Sometimes you'll see massive stretches of sea ice, and if you're really, really lucky, you might even get to land on them, and they'll put the zodiacs up alongside, and you can climb out and actually walk on the sea ice, which is a very, very special moment.